The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. Today's lesson introduces 8 characters, 6 of which contain the drawing of an ancient cooking vessel with billows of steam rising and dissipating left and right. It's pronounced second tone, ceng, ceng, and sometimes first tone, zeng, zeng, when it's a surname. And since this typical Chinese steamer consists of multiple bamboo baskets stacked one atop the other, this character means repetition, a layering, and as an adverb refers to actions having occurred previously, literally stacked up. So it often translates as English ever, before, or once. 她曾是一名马术高手. At one time, she was a master equestrian, a skilled horsewoman. 他们家曾有好多土地. Their family once had a lot of land. In the previous lesson, I reviewed the character yu, meaning a thatched hut, built half above and half below the ground, a more or less permanent structure. What wasn't mentioned is that the roof was usually covered with a layer of sod, blending with its surroundings and making it even more resistant to the wind. Our second character is a drawing of this upper layer of sod, and is also pronounced second tone ceng, ceng. Unsurprisingly, it refers to a layer, stratum, or the story of a building.一层层的地层可以看得出来. Each layer of the Earth's strata can be easily seen. Not only is the Earth's crust stratified, it also has layers where water collects, called aquifers, 衡水层. Above the Earth is the cloud layer, 云层. 月亮从云层中出来了. The moon came out from inside a layer of clouds. And further out, we come to the limits of the atmosphere, 大气层. 大气层含有多少氧气? How much oxygen does the atmosphere contain? Back on the ground again, we sometimes see a layer of frost, 一层霜. 地上有一层白白的霜. A layer of white frost covered the ground. From nature, we turn to buildings, which, like our bamboo steamer, also have floors or stories. 宿舍有5层是女生寄宿的. The dormitory has 5 floors to house female students. And, leaving the physical world altogether, we have layers of meaning. 多层意思. 她拍的电影有2层意思. The movie she made has 2 levels of meaning. By adding the earth radical, we have the third character in today's lesson, pronounced first tone, zeng, zeng. Following the logic of the bamboo steamer, we have the meaning of to increase, literally to stack or pile up layers of earth. This new character gives us 4 common expressions: 增加, 增大, 增多, and 增高。5个月来，技术问题一直增加。These past 5 months have seen a steady increase in technical issues. 人的大脑是因肉食而增大的。The human cerebrum increased in size due to eating meat. 在中国，男婴不停地增多。In China, the number of boy babies has risen non-stop. That was due to the one-child policy that was strictly enforced for decades. The Chinese government now encourages having 3 children per family. 我们家的水电开支一直增高。Our water and electricity payments have continued to rise. The 4th character in this lesson again takes 层 as its phonetic. This character contains the heart radical relating to emotions. And is also pronounced first tone, 增, 增. 我得成天坐在可憎的轮椅上。I have to sit all day long in a detestable wheelchair. A common 成语, or 4-character idiom, is 面目可憎, having a repulsive appearance. 山上凉亭内有面目可憎的蛇。Wayside shelters in the mountains have those horrid snakes in them. 一个面目可憎的守卫在看门。A hateful-looking guard was keeping watch at the gate. Our 5th character keeps the steamer phonetic and pairs it with the cowrie shell to show the giving of something valuable, in addition to, over and above, what one already has. In other words, it means to present a gift, to donate. Pronounced 4th tone, 赠, 赠. 她朋友向她赠了2本书。Her friends gave her 2 books as gifts. In order to give the full expression for a gift, I need to add another character unrelated to our steamer. This new character is quite simple, 3 mouths, representing a multitude of people talking and differing in their opinions. Pronounced 3rd tone, 品, 品. More importantly, this character can also refer to various items or objects, not only mouths. So we now have the complete expression for a gift, especially in a commercial setting, such as complimentary tickets or seats. 你若今天买，就有赠品. If you make a purchase today, you will receive a free gift. Otherwise, 品 can simply mean any sort of item or product. 日本出品, product of Japan, or even made in Japan. 我从事中国食品出口. I deal in the export of Chinese food items. Anything top quality can be expressed by 上品. 她买的是日本上品牛肉. She bought top quality Japanese beef. Besides commercial goods and products, 品 can also be applied to people. Remember that the 3 mouths originally meant people with differing opinions. So this character may refer to human conduct and how people differ in their choices. 他的品性是没有问题的. There's no problem with his conduct. 你男朋友的品性太差了. Your boyfriend has a very poor moral character. 品 can be either a noun or a verb, but both refer to how people differ and the choices they make. A shortened expression to criticize a person or thing as lacking in taste or class, or showing poor judgment, is 没品. 你看的小说太没品了. The novels you read tend to be those cheap, trashy kind. This person is being criticized for not reading more edifying literature. 我叫牛肉，而你要吃面，你太没品. I'm having beef and then you just order noodles. Are you serious? This is a high-class restaurant and you're ordering noodles from the kiddie menu. It's rather embarrassing for the rest of us. A very common four-character idiom is 品头论足, literally, to grade the head and discuss the feet. It originally referred to making frivolous remarks about a woman's appearance, especially her attire. But now its scope has expanded to include finding fault with anything, being overcritical. Here's an example. 他上了我的车，就不停地品头论足. As soon as he gets in my car, he starts carping about everything. No legroom, uncomfortable seats, lousy sound system, and on and on. That's definitely his last ride with me. The seventh character in today's lesson takes the steamer and adds a lid on top to indicate the meaning of coming together. Anyone who's seen a steamer understands that it needs a cover on top to keep the steam inside, or the food won't cook properly. This character is pronounced fourth tone, 会, 会, and sometimes fourth tone, 快, 快, depending on the meaning. We'll begin with a principle of character formation, using two elements. For example, a person, 人, and his or her words, 言, are the basis for 信, meaning honesty or to believe. This type of character is called a 会意字 because its components come together to conjure up an idea in our mind. 弄是会意字，两手玩玉之意。弄 is a compound ideogram, meaning two hands playing with jade. Coming together as one unit is the basic meaning of 会, so it naturally translates as a meeting. 我们在你家门口会面. Let's meet up in front of your house. 朋友相会是开心的事. It's a happy occasion when friends get together. The verb for starting, having, or simply being in or at a meeting is 开, to open. 首相正在开会. The Prime Minister is in a meeting at the moment. 我来说一下今天开会的目的. Let me begin by telling everyone the purpose of today's meeting. A labor or trade union is 工会. A member of that union is 会员, and a general assembly is 大会. Here, they're combined into one phrase. 工会会员大会. From a member's perspective, another member is called a 会友. 你其中一个会友是本地的地头蛇. One of your club members is the local gangster. 地头蛇, literally, a snake in its usual haunts, refers to a very influential member in a community whose permission is required to get anything done. He's generally a powerful local gangster who is above the law, somewhat like a mafia boss in the West. Let's stop for a moment and talk about English word etymology. A monkey's tail is prehensile, meaning it can grasp onto a tree branch. The prefix com, C-O-M, means together. So comprehend literally means to grasp or seize ideas and put them together in your mind. In other words, to understand them. In Chinese, hui also has this meaning of bringing together, to understand, comprehend, which often translates as can, know how to, be able to. 你会说中国话吗? Can you speak Chinese? The yes or no answers would be 会 or 不会. So, now we have three similar expressions in Mandarin. 能, 可以, and 会, all three of which often translate as can or be able to in English. But there are differences, just as in English, depending on context. In Lesson 18, we saw that 能 is actually the primitive drawing of a bear with sharp teeth and claws, used metaphorically to indicate strength, power, competence, and energy. In Lesson 23, we learned that 可 was a human mouth under a scythe, meaning to sing while laboring in the fields, resigned to one's lot in life. This attitude of resignation gives 可 or 可以 its most basic meaning: to be willing, to permit, to consent, to relent. In this lesson, 会 carries the connotation of comprehension, intellectual ability, knowing how to do something, literally, how to put things together. For example, 我不能开车 because my car broke down, or because I broke my foot. I'm physically unable to. 我不可以开车 because I don't have a license, or I'm drunk and it's illegal. Somebody said no. 我不会开车 because I never learned how, or I choose not to drive. Sometimes the meaning of 能 and 可以 may overlap, but not in every case. And because 会 means come together, it also means that an event will or will not come together, will or will not occur. So, this last example, 我不会开车 could also mean I will not drive or I'm not going to drive, becoming an important marker of the future in Chinese. 今天不会下雨 It's not going to rain today. I said that this character 会 can also be pronounced 快, but you will only find it in combination with our final character today, the speech radical next to the number 10, pronounced fourth tone, 记, 记. It means literally to count numbers aloud, or, in other words, to calculate, make plans, or strategize. 会计, therefore, is to bring numbers together and make calculations, the job of an accountant. 我念会计 I'm studying accounting. 会计说我们有不必要的开支 Our accountant says we have unnecessary expenditures. 你打电话一定要计时 计时 obviously means to calculate the time. You must time your calls. When combined with 生, meaning life, 生计 means one's livelihood, means of earning a living. 他们抢走了我哥哥的生计 They stole my brother's livelihood. 有一天，电脑会使得会计失去生计 One day, computers will cause accountants to lose their jobs. As in English, a person who calculates for a living is an accountant, but a calculating person is a schemer who plots against others. So 计 can also mean a ruse, trick, or cunning stratagem. 他们一计不成，又生一计. When their first ruse didn't work, they concocted another. 他的话不可以信，你要小心中计. His word cannot be trusted. Be careful not to fall into his trap. 他不可能出卖我，是他中了计. She would never betray me. She was tricked. Here is our color chart with today's 8 characters. 成 增 赠 成 增 会 品 and 计. Here's the takeaway from today's lesson. 1. All but 2 of the 8 characters in this lesson contain the pictogram of an ancient steam cooking vessel, not much different from a typical Chinese bamboo steamer today. This cooking utensil lends itself to a whole host of connotations, beginning with a literal stack of actions or repetition, once or more times in the past, such as 曾是 and 曾有, translated in English as ever before or at one time. For example, 她曾是行动家. She used to be an activist. 2. The layer of sod over a thatched hut, paired with the multi-tiered bamboo steamer, creates the character for any type of layer, coating, or level. From the Earth's atmosphere, 大气层, through the cloud layer, 云层, down to the Earth's crust, 地层, and below, in aquifers, 含水层. It also describes the floor levels of a building, 五层高的宿舍, and even works as a metaphor for levels of meaning, 多层意思. 3. With the addition of an earth reticle, we get first tone 增, taking the multiple tiers of the steamer to indicate an increase in size or number, literally a stacking up, creating such phrases as 增多, 增大, 增加, and 增高. 4. Another character in the steamer family is created by pairing it with an upright heart reticle, to show how repeated aggravation can cause a person to reach a boiling point, literally to get all steamed up from the anger building inside. The idiom 面目可憎 means a repulsive appearance, a face that inspires loathing or disgust. 5. The cowrie shell was an ancient form of money, and when combined with the multi-tiered steamer, creates fourth tone 赠, meaning to add something of value to what is already good. A present to a friend, a donation to a charity, a complimentary gift to a preferred customer. This gift is called a 赠品. 6. By tripling an element in a character, the Chinese language usually indicates a multitude of something. In today's lesson, the mouth reticle, to produce third tone 品. These are not simply 3 mouths, but a group of people with different opinions airing their disagreements, giving 品 the important meaning of difference and discernment. In other words, the ability to discriminate, as when savoring an expensive tea or fine wine, the ability to discern proper from immoral behavior, or in the business world, differentiating one product from another. Go back and review the various examples. 7. Perhaps the most important character in today's lesson is fourth tone, 会, the steamer plus its cover. An image taken to mean coming together, as in 会话, conversation, 会面, to meet up, 相会, to get together, and the verb 开会, to start, have, or be in a meeting. Other groupings are 工会, a labor union whose members, 会员, come together in a general assembly, 大会. 8. The idea of bringing various pieces together extends to the realm of the mind, meaning to comprehend, know how to do something, as in 你会不会开车? Can you drive a car? And since many events may or may not come together, they may or may not happen. So 会 has also become an important marker of the future in Mandarin. An example, 我不会去, I won't go. 9. 会 is also a split sound character, pronounced 快. So it was necessary to introduce the character for calculate, 计, so that I could give examples of the combination for accounting and accountant, 会计. Other phrases using this character include the verb to time something, 计时, one's livelihood, 生计, and to fall victim to a ruse, trick, or plot, 中计. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.